Hi, Lou here with a short video, because that's all it deserves, about so-called creation science, which is in fact nonsense. It's an oxymoron. Science is a certain matter of behavior and how to determine whether something is true. Creation from religion has none of that. And yet people pretend that their explanation of how the world has happened is just as scientific and just as sensible as standard science. There is no science in creationism. It's all in the imagination, all part of the superstitious mumbo jumbo that is organized religion. It's stories, not explanations, emotion, not reason, the supernatural, not the natural. What is science? Briefly, it's evidence-based. It's not pulling stuff out of thin air. It uses the scientific method, which is not trial and error. You try to have controlled experiments. You use replication and confirmation of experimental or evidential results. You have predictions deriving from previous, not proven, but very likely explanations. Science uses logic and reason, not emotions or wishful thinking. Nothing is supernatural in science. Something may be as yet unknown, but as time passes, much that was said to be supernatural has now been explained naturally. In other words, science is about reality. It's not like the communist dialectic, where you combined thesis and antithesis and came up with a synthesis, but there were no rules for how you do it. It's not like religions that rely on stories and faith. It's not like typical thinking, which nowadays tends to be wishful rather than realistic. The so-called explanation, it's supernatural, doesn't explain anything. Or, if you look at it another way, it can explain everything, which makes it useless. You may as well claim a scientific basis for the assertion that the Earth is flat rather than spherical. Creation science is just another crackpot conspiracy theory. There's no evidence, no logic, nothing but faith and foolishness, and of course, wishful thinking. So, creation science, so-called, is a pile of dung, nothing more, certainly not science. Thanks for listening.